guys! Welcome to Ignite, Light Up Your Life. I am your host Lacy, and today we are coming to you from the kitchen, cooking dinner for quarantine, for COVID-19. We are bored and tired of being in our house. Yeah, so we're gonna start cooking dinner, and I'm gonna teach you guys how to use my favorite kitchen utensil, the Instapot. Today I am going to cook for you some General Tso Chicken, gluten-free, because I am gluten-free and I've been on the gluten-free train for about 10 years, a little over 10 years now. So we're going to cook up some General Tso Chicken. I actually haven't had General Tso Chicken in a very long time, so this is going to be super fun. I'm going to show you guys what I got going on here real quick. So what we got going on here is we have our organic green onions. We're going to cut up a couple of those, or scallions. And then we've got some broccoli. I'm going to cook up and steam some of that, some of this up, probably about 2 heads of broccoli to go on the side there. Organic broccoli. And then this is the ingredients for the sauce. At the end you add in some cornstarch. I'll show you how to do that. I'm going to add a little bit of this, a little bit of my favorite bit of hoisin sauce, gluten-free, some organic local honey from our local honey folk, some sesame seeds, some sea salt, a little bit of onion powder, some garlic. Good. I just use some dried garlic. Mixed dried garlic. Got my stone ground black pepper, and then my gluten-free organic tamari. Let's see here. It does have soy in it. I don't typically do soy, but for this I'll do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix all this up and cut my chicken up, and I will be back. First, I'm going to actually start my rice here in the Instapot. And when I am cooking with the Instapot, I'm always sure to use the pressure cook button. I like to do it on manual because it ensures that it actually is done correctly. Or I do saute if I'm going to be using it instead of the stove. So the pressure cook for today, I will do the rice. I usually do about, I think it's like 3 to 5 minutes. I'll have to double check on that and I'll be back. So I'm gonna get that ready and I'll show you what's up with the rice. Okay, so for the rice, I do 2 cups of water and 1.5 cups of rice. Pour it in there, and then when I'm doing pressure cook, I always make sure to look up the time to ensure I get the perfect timing. Sometimes I look. So when cooking rice, you want to be sure to cook it by itself, because in the past I have combined it with other things and it ended up turning out really mushy. So I typically cook it beforehand so that I can put it off to the side, and it's really fast to cook. It only takes 3 minutes. So you want to put it in there, and you don't want to put the rack on the bottom there. You're just going to put the water in the rice, and you're going to make sure the seal is tight and twist it. And then you're going to come over to the pressure cook button. You're not going to use the rice button. It makes the rice mushy. And I push the keep warm button off because it won't actually get started, I've noticed, if it stays on. And then we're just going to go down to 3 minutes when it's on high. So you'll see that it's on high. And that is going to be a pressure release there when you're finished, or if you want to do natural release, it's a 10-minute thing and you keep the button down. But I like to do the release at the end because it's only 3 minutes. So in 3 minutes we'll have perfect rice. Okay, so the rice is done, and I'm releasing the pressure, which we ended up adding in a minute. You want to make sure that all the pressure is released before you unlock it. It won't let you unlock the lid anyhow. And be sure to clean up your pressure valve release every time, because as you can see, it can get a little dirty and it clogs things up, which makes the life of your Instapot shorter. So you'll want to be sure to keep your Instapot clean. Alright, let's see what we got going on. Woo! Woo woo! A little close there. Okay. And we have perfect sticky rice. Perfect sticky rice. Perfect! And it doesn't seem like it's too smushy, which is great, because if you leave it in too long, it gets really mushy. No, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So the perfect is 5 minutes. 5 minutes on high with the pressure cook. So remember, pressure cook, turn the keep warm off, and 5 minutes. Alright, we're going to transfer this and get the chicken ready. Okay, so I have my chicken here, and I'm actually going to saute it before we put it in the pressure cooker. So what I'm going to do is press the saute button here, and I've cut it into chunks. And I use breasts. You can use thighs if you'd like. Those are also good. I just prefer breast. Haha. And so I'm going to actually put it for 3 minutes. And we're going to put it on saute, and we're going to saute this up. And we're going to put it on saute for 5. Okay, nice and brown. So while the chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get the sauce ready. So I'm going to do a 1/3 cup of tamari. I like to use the gluten-free kind here. Of course, this is gluten-free cooking. And do a 1/3 cup of that. Okay, then I put a 1/3 cup of water in with my tamari. And then I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of the honey. And then I will follow that up with 2 tablespoons of the poison. I only have one hand, so do that off camera. I'm going to do a tablespoon of oil, which is also the oil I'm using to cook up my chicken, which is getting nice and toasty. So I'm actually going to turn this off so that it doesn't fully cook, because I don't want it to cook up all the way. I just want to get it a little toasty here. I'd like it to be crispier actually, so it needs to lose some of that water. But anyways, I'm going to go over and put in my, so I did my 1/3 cup of tamari, my 1/3 cup of water. I do 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of hoisin, and then a teaspoon of oil. And then I am going to do, I can't read my writing, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, and then 2 cloves of garlic, and a teaspoon of ginger, and some chilies. So actually I am going to use this instead of the garlic and stuff, because it has spices and garlic in it. So it actually has tomatoes, onions, dried garlic, basil, and sea salt. So it's perfect. It's exactly what I need. So I'm going to mix all that in and get my ginger powder and go to town. Okay. So the ingredient I was forgetting was the apple cider vinegar. I'm going to do a tablespoon of that as well. Okay, so I mixed it all in there and I put a few of these in there. Kind of like it spicy. Tastes pretty good, you know? It really does. The taste of it tastes pretty good. Really. Not too bad. Kind of like it. So, put my nasty spoons. How do you like my nasty spoons? I'm actually going to take all this over here. I'm going to go back to my Instapot to my chicken. Take out my spoons over here. My nasty spoon. And I'm going to pour the mixture over the chicken. Yum, yum, yum. And mix it up. Oop. I'm going to mix it all up. And then I am going to put it on high for 4 minutes. And then we're actually going to do 3 minutes since we cooked it up a little bit already. And we're going to come back and add the cornstarch to it. So I'm going to come back to the pressure cook. Make sure it's on high. It's already on 2 minutes. Turn off the keep warm. Put it on 3, and we'll come back. Okay, so after 3 minutes, I let the pressure release, and I'm going to put it on to saute. I'm going to put it on saute for about 5 minutes, and I'm going to get a tablespoon of cornstarch. I'm going to sprinkle it in there. Oh. And then I am going to get another tablespoon of cornstarch. I need 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to put it in there. This sauce to thicken it up. Stir it up. I kind of need a little bit more. Oops. Well, it's a little watery anyhow. I want it to be much thicker than this. This is pretty watery. I'm going to actually put my broccoli in here as well now while it is on saute. So I've been on saute for about 5 minutes. I'm actually put it on 6 minutes, and if it seems done before that, I can turn it off. So I'm going to throw my broccoli. Right, now we got our broccoli in there, and you can steam your broccoli separately if you'd like. It takes 7 minutes on high with the manual button, and you can do that separately beforehand if you'd like. I just prefer to soak it in the juices with the chicken here whenever I'm making something, and that's just me. So we're going to let this cook for about 3 minutes, see how we do. We want the sauce to be thick, and you want to make sure the sauce is the right flavor. Now is the time to add anything if you want to add anything to it. You don't want it to be too awfully thick, but this is too runny, so we want it to thicken up. So it's been about 5 minutes, and I added in a few chili peppers here, and the sauce is getting a little thicker, so I think once it stands, it will thicken up. I really wish I would have had the chicken be a little bit crispier, so next time what I'm going to do is saute it with a little more oil in smaller batches so that it gets that crispiness that I really like with the General Chicken. You can even flour it with gluten-free flour if you'd like. This was just the quicker method, but it seems like it's moving along nicely. We will be done here shortly. Yeah, it's getting nice and thick, which is what you want. So upon standing, it will most likely thicker, and I'll add my sesame seeds and my green onions at that point when I plate. Alright, so I'm going to set this on the stove here, and I'm going to let this sit for about 3 minutes, and then I'm going to plate it up. That way the sauce thickens and it cools down a bit. I'm setting it on the stove so it doesn't burn anything, because this thing is still quite hot. So we'll plate it up in just a second, so about 3 minutes. Well, here it is. Easy Instapot General Tso Chicken. Gluten-free, quick and easy for the whole family. Get your quarantine on, guys. Start cooking, go get an Instapot and start cooking it up, because now's the time. Stop eating out. This is actually really good. I'm going to go enjoy my dinner. Have a good night, guys. Till next time.